a sleeping teacher. On a lake near Galilee, a small boat is caught in a savage storm. This is Mark chapter 4. And you are about to see Jesus show power over nature like no one before him. Here is Jesus, a teacher who speaks in stories and heals the sick. He looks ordinary, but his words carry weight. With his followers near him, he will show that his authority reaches even the wind and the waves. These are the disciples, fishermen and ordinary men who left their nets to follow Jesus. They know the lake and its moods, so when fear grips them, we will see the depth of their crisis and what faith asks of them. After a long day of teaching in parables, Jesus steps into a small boat and turns away from the shore. The crowd spills along the bank as he explains the kingdom in stories. Teaching from a boat is practical. Sound carries, and the boat gives him a pulpit among the water. As the sun dips, Jesus tells the disciples to cross to the other side. They obey and push off. The air cools, and the sky darkens. What begins as a routine crossing becomes the stage for a test of fear and faith. Suddenly a great windstorm sweeps over the lake. Waves rise higher than the boat. The disciples, seasoned in these waters, are terrified because this gale is beyond ordinary. They struggle to keep the hull from filling with water as night and chaos press in. In that terrifying moment, Jesus is asleep on a cushion at the stern. The disciples are shocked. Their teacher rests while the boat fights for life. Their panic deepens because they expected help, not sleep, and fear makes them doubt even his presence. As waves crash, the disciples jolt Jesus awake. They shout, pleading for rescue. "Teacher, do you not care if we perish?" Their voice carries the raw question. Is his power real in the hour of their need, or is faith only words on the shore? Jesus stands and addresses the wind and the waves. He speaks with authority, not pleading but commanding, "Peace, be still." His voice cuts through the tumult like a king's decree. The disciples witness a different kind of power, the authority of one who governs creation. Immediately the wind ceases, and the sea grows perfectly calm. The contrast is shocking. One moment chaos, the next absolute stillness. The disciples feel the physical reality of Jesus' command. The miracle is not only that nature obeys, but that divine order reasserts itself. As the silence settles, Jesus turns to them and asks, "Why are you afraid? Do you still have no faith?" His question is not rhetorical. It probes their hearts, asking why knowledge of him has not become trust. The disciples confront the gap between witnessing power and fully believing it. In that moment, the disciples begin to understand two things. Jesus can command creation, and faith is the response that trusts his presence in crisis. Seeing the calm does not automatically create faith, but it forces an honest reckoning with who he is. Days later, the story circulates among villagers and fishermen. For first-century people, miracles like calming the seas signal divine authority. Controlling nature places Jesus in the same category as the God of Israel, whose word formed the world, which is why this sign provokes awe and questions of identity. As the narrative continues, Mark shows that miracles are not ends in themselves. Instead, they are invitations to faith. The disciples will face other storms, internal and external, and this moment becomes a template. When fear comes, where is trust placed? Following the calm, the disciples ask among themselves, "Who then is this, that even the wind and the sea obey him?" That question is at the heart of Mark. Miracles push the community to name Jesus, teacher, prophet, or something more, the one with divine authority. In the quiet after the storm, individual disciples wrestle inwardly. Some are humbled, others frightened into deeper dependence. Mark implies that the true miracle is transformed trust. Men who once relied on skill must now rely on the one who commands the sea. Mark shapes the scene as theology, not just spectacle. By showing Jesus mastering chaos, the gospel echoes creation language. God spoke, and order came. Implicitly, Mark claims Jesus participates in divine power, inviting readers to reinterpret their understanding of God and Messiahship. As the account closes, Mark prepares the disciples for mission. Power over nature reinforces a larger claim. Those who follow Jesus carry an authority that confronts evil and disorder. The lake episode equips them to face spiritual storms ahead with a new confidence. When the storm ends, Mark teaches that Jesus is not merely a teacher of ideas, but the one whose voice sustains creation. The lesson is precise. Trust his presence in chaos, for his authority calms what threatens life. If this story moved you, like the video, subscribe to the channel and tap the bell so you do not miss the next one.